The LEGO Technic Volvo FMX truck and EC230 electric excavator is truly an incredible pneumatic set. But is it really worth that steep price tag of $200? Let's find out. This set is essentially a 2-in-1. We've got the main truck with its trailer as well as the gorgeous excavator. In order to play with the excavator, we will need to spin the following gear knob. This will lower the ramp on the truck bed, allowing you to drive the excavator off the ramp. There is no actuators here, and it's an incredibly basic mechanism. The knob just turns a gear, which connects to a worm gear powering a lift arm. Very simple, and it's definitely something you could easily recreate at home, even as a casual Technic fan. The trailer's got 6 small wheels. There is no drivetrain here or any differentials. But how do you remove it from the main truck? There is a simple sliding lock, and after unlocking it, you can remove the trailer. There is another knob here that will allow you to extend some red legs so that it can stand up. As you can see, the lock simply consists of some sliding axles, nothing special here. However, the truck itself is far more complex than the trailer. First of all, it's got a hand of God steering knob, and you can slide off another axle lock in order to lift up the cabin, which reveals the 6-cylinder inline engine. It uses those yellow pins which clip onto the thin cams, so unlike previous engines of this style, like the one featured in the concrete mixer truck, it will never get stuck due to the small lift arms pushing on the pistons to the side, and it will still work upside down. However, I have noticed that these yellow clip pin engines have much more friction than the traditional block engines. Turning the hand of God knob will spin this blue gear. The blue one connects to the gray one over here, which just directly moves the lift arms. There is no gear rack steering system here like what you'd see in a typical Technic vehicle. I love this simple yet creative solution. This is definitely something I can use to make simple creations myself. The cabin itself looks like an absolute beast. It's got openable doors on either side, and I've also placed a minifigure here as the driver. Wouldn't it be an excellent opportunity to bring back those Technic figures, especially for the upcoming 50th anniversary of Technic? I personally think that there should always be a driver in the Technic vehicles. I love the aesthetics from all sides here, and if you look at the roof here, you will notice the following gray elements. They look like flick-fire missiles, but unfortunately they aren't. I wish this truck had flick-fire missiles. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if it looks like a regular truck, but in reality it can shoot its enemies? The drivetrain is reasonably simple. The 2 rear wheels of the truck are connected to a standard Technic open differential. This drives the central axle connected by some universal joints to accommodate the height change. If you're fascinated with this set and you would like to get my reviews of the upcoming August Technic sets such as of the EC500 excavator well before they're even released, since I also have early access just like Racing Brick, then make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. No pressure though, no pressure. Speaking of pressure, let's look at what's easily the highlight of the set, the pneumatic EC230 electric excavator. It's got 2 pneumatic levers as well as the manual pump in the middle, which are used to control the 2 actuators. So, unlike a typical excavator, there isn't 3 distinct actuators unfortunately. However, at such a small scale, this isn't a problem at all. You can think of it as like a pneumatic version of the 8294 excavator from 2008. Surprisingly, it can actually lift heavy rocks reasonably well, and it's truly an absolute joy to play with. The bucket piece is actually quite strange. They never made a brand new version of this piece for this model. Instead, it uses a combination of 2 of those small bucket pieces introduced in the bucket wheel excavator, which results in like a divider here in the middle. You can even put this excavator into some small rocks or sand, use the pneumatics to activate the powerful arm, and successfully lift up some rocks together with the water. It is truly an incredible playing experience. I certainly had much more fun playing with this than I did with the material handler. The superstructure is placed on a turntable connected to the chassis. There are no further connections between the 2 sections. As a result, you can freely spin it a full 360 degrees and more. One of the most common complaints of this excavator is that the tracks lack grip and will slip on the floor. From testing, I can say that this is not true, especially if you play outdoors. Perhaps if you tried rolling it on a wooden floor or travertine floor, then yes, that complaint would be valid. However, in my case, the tracks have so much grip that they can actually snap sometimes. The chassis itself is exceptionally simple. It is composed of 2 sprockets and some small wheels and tires to help guide the tracks. I absolutely love the construction of this excavator. It is such a gorgeous excavator, and it looks phenomenal from all sides. Even the cabin has excellent details. You might have noticed some sort of yellow box on the trailer. And what does it actually do? Well, if you open it up, you will notice that it is actually a battery. On the side, you can unroll the wire and connect it to the electric excavator to recharge it, which I assume is similar to how the real one works. Of course, the yellow box is not a real battery, and the wire that connects to the excavator is is actually just a rope. Where many fans consider this set to be disappointing or missed out on a real golden opportunity is by failing to include a pneumatic tank. Imagine if instead of a fake battery, we got a real pneumatic tank which could actually power the excavator itself. Then it would truly feel like actual recharging instead of just pretend recharging. I would also like to have seen a barometer included so that we could see the pressure inside the pneumatic tank. Honestly, I love the little pneumatic excavator itself. It is so vastly better than the simple trailer or even the truck. I personally wish that this excavator was its own little set. Imagine if you could get this gorgeous pneumatic model for a measly $80. It's a real shame that it's locked away behind that $200 price tag. It's kind of like that new baby astronaut gift we purchased we had. Both are amazing little models, yet they're both locked away behind a large price tag, and in both cases you have to purchase something that you might not even want. I personally will take on the challenge of motorizing the excavator and making a full RC mod from it. In my RC mod, I will have two options. I could either keep the pneumatics, add a motorized compressor, and somehow attempt to remotely activate those switches, or alternatively, I could replace both the pneumatic cylinders with linear actuators and do my RC mod that way. Which one would you prefer? Please let me know in the comments. So, what are the pros as well as the cons of this set? For the pros, we've got that gorgeous excavator. It is seriously one of the best pneumatic models I've ever played with. I definitely prefer it over the material handler. I just wish that LEGO would include a motorization guide at the back of the instruction booklet, just like how they did for many manual pneumatic sets in the past. Another big positive of the set is the 2-in-1 aspect. This is one of the few Technic models that feature several vehicles all in one package. In fact, this set includes 3 separate instruction booklets, one for the truck, one for the trailer, and one for the excavator, so that hypothetically, you could have 3 separate people all building this set simultaneously. Another positive is the price. It includes a whopping 2,274 pieces, which makes it one of the best priced sets ever. On top of that, you can even get it for like $140 on Bricklink, even if you're in the USA, which makes it so much more worth it. However, I would have liked to see a distribution gearbox in the trailer or the truck, and I think that would have justified the price a bit more. I also think that LEGO should have sold the truck and the excavator separately, since I think that the excavator is a phenomenal, extremely legendary Technic model, while the truck and the trailer are not that special. But what about the cons of this set? Well, first of all, the truck and trailer are pretty simple. They don't feature any complex mechanisms and they don't feature a gearbox. Even the ramp lowering does not utilize a linear actuator. Another con of the set is the lack of flick-fire missiles on the truck, but that's kind of a silly one, so maybe don't even consider it. What do you think of this set? Do you already have it, or will you buy it after having watched my review? Please let me know in the comments. Make sure to join my Discord server for direct input into future Technic videos as well as general Technic discussion, and even get a brand new LEGO Technic 42197 backhoe loader completely for free by winning the mock contest. This time the theme is military. So build a tank, just like Serial, and win the contest. This is your Unbreak Me here, and I'll see you in the next one.